Hello again. My name is Sikinar. I'll be hosting for the next couple of runs. Next up, we have Halo Reach Easy mode by Backflip9. So that'll be really exciting. Yeah, and just so I can wrap up the Mega Man block, we did get one donation in from Mr. Cab for $100. And he says, is Mega Man 5 the best Mega Man? Could be. We'll find out. Well, we already found out, I guess.
Alright.
Okay, cool. So yeah, whenever you're ready to get started, Backflip, we are ready to go.
Sounds good. The single player timing starts after this loading screen, so I'll say. And now. Alright. Hello, I'm Backflip. This is Halo Reach. We're going to start out with a level that's pretty dangerous in comparison to the others. Like, this is the big, most runs will die here, as always. There is a very dangerous soft lock that was only really a threat starting around a year ago with the new strat that was found. It's always been one of the more broken levels in the whole game, but due to some new strats, there's, the most, I guess, broken glitch in the game became even more of an extensive multi-step trick. So you'll see that in a few minutes. It starts out just with this boring falcon ride and a little bit of running, and then it kind of picks up speed. This area has a lot of areas that look like you could maybe get out of the map through them. But this game is very, very heavy with its invisible walls and barriers to keep you inside the map. There's one area where you can get out over there, but it's only possible if you have a grenade or another flare to jump off of. And unfortunately, we don't have either in single player, so we're forced to go all the way around this way. So I might as well start explaining the biggest trick in the game that's coming up. It's called Falcon Skip. There's a falcon that'll spawn in a little bit that you'll see up here that's piloted by an AI. The marker on the map says that it's June, and there's every implication that he's the one driving it, but we'll soon find out that it's actually a small assault rifle that was behind the whole thing, and if we can kick that assault rifle out, then we can pilot the Falcon ourselves, and then we can go anywhere we want. So we'll need one of these. It's lucky that we got it this early. Now we can just run straight ahead, don't have to look for anything. That's Falcon up there. Keep an eye on the blue waypoint attached to it. That kind of signifies that the AI is there. We're going to make it disappear by deloading this area we're in right now while it's kind of still in that area. And the game doesn't let anything exist in a deloaded area. That doesn't make any sense, right? So we're going to deload it while it's in that area, forcing it to spawn somewhere else, which thankfully it does. It'll spawn right up here, and there's a faster way to steal it, which I'm going to try a couple times, but it's a little risky, and I'm not very good at it. So right here, it's good, and then it'll disappear, and now it's back over here. Oh. Alright, we're gonna go for a backup here. Alright, hit it again on the way down. Hopefully it'll flip over for us. No, we'll try this one more time, and then we'll just want to drive with the truck over to where it'll stop moving. No such luck. Okay, that's fine. Only a few people have really put the time in to get that trick consistent, and it looks pretty cool when you get it, but it just saves some of the time flying over. You still take the same path, and we're by no means soft-locked by missing that. So the original way of doing it that was done in practice for a longer time is going to be up here. Falcon scripted to stop right here, and since we deloaded the AI, like the physical AI inside it, we can flip it over and eject that invisible AI and take it for ourselves. And this part's always been pretty inconsistent. That looks good. All right. So it's open. We can flip it over, then we can get in, and now it's ours. So we're still trapped. They were still diligent enough in placing the barriers that we can't just fly out. There's no way that's been found. Not that there's very many good available tools for finding that, as would be the case in a PC game. But what we can do is we have these ships that are flying around. If we follow this one around, we can get stuck in between. Oh, my bad. Get stuck in between its two little arms, and that'll push us through one of these elastic barriers, and then we'll be completely free. And then we'll have the whole map at our disposal. Sometimes this thing can be really terrible and impossible to clip with, so I'm just gonna go ahead and jinx it. Gonna fly ahead of it. This is the safer method. Get between the arms, stick ourselves right there. This looks good. Cool. And that might kill us normally. I don't know. There's no way to test it, but this Falcon is scripted to be invincible, which is pretty handy. Which is just since it's got an AI in it and you're not supposed to kill any AI. This isn't like Dark Souls or some open-ended game. So now, normally, as per the older strat, we would just fly in here and start fighting off 3 waves in a fight. But with this new strat, we're going to kill everyone without going under an invisible elastic barrier below us. Get out, listen for some dialogue. Okay, there. That's good. Now we're going to hit an invisible lead zone that I'm really terrible at hitting. I've killed many co-op runs doing this. Alright, cool. So now we've deloaded that area that we just reloaded out of order, which the game isn't really forgiving about normally. Usually we'd softlock somehow by doing this, but thankfully this works out a little bit better. So now that's the second dropship in the 3-wave fight. So now that that has spawned, we can go over here, hit this load zone, and then run back in. And you might be thinking, yeah, we could just fly the Falcon the whole way through, but there is a very obscure glitch that we've never totally dissected that locks you inside the Falcon. You can't get out unless an elite hijacks you, and you'll see why that's a problem very soon. But at this point, we're pretty much in there. There's nothing that'll... I'm about to die. No, okay. It's very easy to softlock here. I'm really bad at not softlocking, but I did it. So now all 3 waves have dropped, and now this happens for some reason, which is very convenient. Now we're gonna do some metagaming here. Nope. This thing takes variable amounts of time to disappear. That wasn't too bad. But as for why the sky turns completely blue and every enemy dies, that's up to you. You can come up with some fanfic to explain that, but we don't really understand. But it saves the... You might think it didn't save any time because we still had to wait for all those spirits to drop the enemies, right? But it saves the time you'd normally spend waiting inside that room with the robot person who armor locked for a sec there when I threw the grenades at her. And she's gonna talk for a bit, and then the door that was a blue, I don't know, an invisible blue vacancy, in this case would take a while to open, so we save that time. So that's convenient. So now that we're past that, there's not really any like soft locks we have to worry about, just some really heavy time losses. So this area was meant to just be a fight where you have to clear every enemy, and then you get this cool thing that can destroy aircrafts afterward, but we're gonna take it first and kill all the regular enemies with that. I can't aim. No. Okay, that's fine. It's pretty uncommon to get that to happen really quickly since there's so much AI at play. Oh no! Oh no! I'm a terrible gamer. Okay. We wanted to EMP that hog because it's scripted to blow up in a sec, but I have other plans. Okay. I just got really nervous over that. It's a pretty consistent trick, as much as the timing might look kind of precise. In normal runs, I don't sweat it. But this is a marathon. So we're not going to put this to too much use, even though it's like kind of unique, and I don't think there's any warthogs that look like this elsewhere in the game. We're just going to use it to drive over to this ghost. And then take that. It wouldn't be a whole lot slower to just drive by with the warthog, but this is what we've been doing for a long time, and we're bad at like retiming things and refiguring out older strats, or at least I am. That makes it sound like I don't like the other runners. There's a lot of people who put a lot of time into this game, which I'm really happy about. There's a lot of strat research that goes on, and which is really satisfying to see, since I was one of the like first people to run this game around the time Halo Runs launched. HaloRuns.com, http://HaloRuns.com in 2014. And then the community eventually grew, and now we've got like a pretty good arsenal of people who know what's going on with the game and could investigate something if one of us or someone else on YouTube somewhere found a new glitch, which is really great. Alright, cool. That was just a small grenade jump to skip some running around. The beginning of this level, I didn't explain it, it's just hitting some buttons to progress the story. Might have noticed the language is in Japanese and the text is in Korean. And that's actually so that we can wrong warp to the end of the game. You'll see that in a bit. It doesn't save any time. It's just, I just decided to buy a Japanese copy a couple years ago. And like that can't really happen, as far as I know, with like a newer game that has software patches and stuff. It's the same. You can play co-op with American players on this copy. I'm on an American Xbox, doesn't really matter. And then the text is just based on your system language. So those barriers, like, you'll see the ones that I like brushed by like it was nothing just then, but the one that I like had to jump over they're completely stationary. They have like static physics because they don't want you to take the ghosts around here. Kind of annoying, but it's pretty easy to get over them with some practice. So this area is this game is built with like multiplayer maps inside it. Kind of interesting. Don't get to see a whole lot of this one because we just kind of climb along the walls to get through it. Oops. That's stupid. Okay. This is just a fight with a bunch of banshees and another thing that we can use the cool target locator on that maybe wasn't intended. We're gonna kill the Phantom with it, so I'm gonna focus all my rockets on the banshees while I just hopefully kill the Phantom with the target locator alone. Did I get both? crazy. I don't know. So if he doesn't move, that should be fine. Okay, that's pretty unlucky. That's fine. We can finish it off with some more rockets. And there's plenty of those. Okay, that's fine. It's always really pathetic because, like, something tragic, like the rocket's hitting a tiny Banshee instead of the giant Phantom, or the Phantom will move and the aircraft will just entirely miss it. But this level is fairly consistent, which is good. It makes for like a pretty consistent early game, and then you move on to the end game, which is where more crazy stuff happens, where your run's more at mercy to RNG, especially at one point, which you'll see in a bit. So this level is like the one that really hit the YouTube scene, I guess. People found a glitch to clip through a gate with a forklift, and some popular YouTubers talked about it and got a lot of notoriety, and it just became something that like most of the general, well, I don't know. I wasn't huge on like the multiplayer scene. I just bought this game to run it, but a lot of people knew about that forklift glitch because it was all over YouTube, and so it was one that like people would boast about how fast their times were, but and that's led to it being like one of the more competitive levels in this game, probably the most, just because it's almost like a GoldenEye IL in that there's not much at play other than your movement and a tiny bit of RNG. So you can get like, you know, a pretty decent time just no matter what happens, but then if you want to push it further, where no one has gone before, then you'll have to have one of these guys smack you and push you forward or something else crazy like that. So, but this one guy, his name is Monkek1, and he's just the best at it. He's had the record for ages, and he's like in recent years he's branched out to other levels and dominated those ones as well. So, shouts to him. He's my idol. So not a lot to talk about here. Just movement, and like places where you could do grenade jumps, but it might not be necessary, like there. This level would be a lot longer. But it wasn't meant to just be like a walking simulator, but that area I just walked through was supposed to be this huge three-way fight that takes a while. It would be pretty awful to do in the speedrun because there's just so much AI at play. The enemies start out scattered and you've just got to pick them all off and then run through some dialogue, and then 3 waves that kind of come, I don't remember. They kind of come all at once. I don't think you can really like do it systematically like some other fights where they drop and you kill them all at once. So the forklift clip is coming up. It's just about lining yourself up, and then as your player model moves when you get out of the vehicle, if you do it right where the gate opens, then your model will just relocate on the other side. Pretty straightforward. Alright, first try. And then that skips another big fight, which would make the level even longer. And there should be more enemies here. Like this level, I'd say it has like the most percent of its content skipped. There would be more enemies here that wouldn't really bug us, but since we clipped through the forklift and didn't even do the beginning of the previous fight, none of that loaded. So this level just finishes up in eerie silence. That's Nightfall. Next we're going to have Tip of the Sphere. It's the most chaotic level, a lot of explosives around, a couple of places where you can die. And there's also a cool IL strat that I'm going to try that no one that I know of does in full game. It's very inconsistent because this game has less predictable physics, I'd say. but it's still fun to try and then like catch up in a race randomly by doing it. Despite that it's a console game, we have the resources to dig enough into the code, or just to kind of, I don't know, logically determine that what some of the triggers are specifically. Like in that area, we know that you just need to shoot those 2 grunts and those 2 little turrets, and then that pelican will come and drop this warthog here. And then I use that time while it's dropping it to grab a concussion rifle, the orange gun that we'll need later. Alright, here's the IL strat. I'll try it. I don't practice it. I just practiced it a long time ago when I was going for the IL, but oh, that was close. Oh, that's as good as it's gonna get. It's tough. It's just a fun thing to do sometimes, and it looks really cool because then you come out of that and come right into this other strat you'll see me do. And that would save more time, but since the checkpoint was kind of me going off the beaten path, it didn't save as much before that bridge showed up. So this area has changed a lot over time. I don't know why. It seems like if you just hover around in a camera in theater mode, you can clearly see what the fastest path through here would be. But back in the high-speed Halo days, there were a few routes that surfaced and were knocked down by other better ones. So we've been settled on this for a long time, even though some other people have experimented with other paths. Because there's a lot of possibilities. It's just one of those open-ended areas with 50 paths through it that like a regular player wouldn't try. Normally it's really circuitous and inefficient, but it's a cool area. It's kind of a shame that we don't get to really see the whole thing. This area is not a lot to talk about. There's some hunters that are part of the trigger. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? I'm doing like a strat from 2014. I guess it'll work. Maybe I should stop talking. So we can trap them in here by doing this. Normally they take quite a lot to kill because we don't have cool weapons like we did during Oni. We don't have like a shotgun or... We have a plasma rifle. Oh no we don't. This isn't caught, never mind. That thing that just shot me was a friendly pelican, that thing, or falcon. It just shoots you sometimes and can kill your runs. I'm gonna try and hang back. Alright, and that's everything. Pretty straightforward.
Do we have a moment to read off a quick donation?
Sure thing, I've got a falcon right up here. So.
Great, yeah, we have a $5 donation from Dr. Urenstein.
Hey, Yuri. No comment on that one, or? This like most of the the first Falcon ride at the beginning and another one later are auto scrollers. This one's like that close. There's one wraith I have to kill. So it's like a really uncomfortable spot to do a bathroom break if you're doing a race or something, because you gotta like run to the bathroom, then maybe don't wash your hands, run back, kill this one wraith, and back. But there's some awesome unskippable cutscenes coming up anyway, so there's plenty of time for that in the next level. Oh yeah, there's a way to like get through this whole level technically without getting in this falcon. I believe. I don't think you can actually finish it, like hit the button at the end, but um, this level is actually really huge. It might not look it, but it extends like way beyond what you can see. Like if you're in a camera, you're out of bounds, you can fly over to like the farthest point a player could ever see normally. And then you go past that, and then there's just like the size of the whole level times 3 past that for some reason. I don't know why they chose to do that, but it makes for a lot of fun launching with some of the skulls that change the mechanics of this game, like one called Cowbell that makes explosions have greater like knockback. You can like stand on a warthog and shoot it with an explosive, and then you'll just be knocked flying because the warthog starts spinning really fast, which it's hard to understand just from watching, but I think it's what made me kind of want to get this game several years ago. It looked really cool. You can just fly without like pressing anything after you shoot, just over like the size of the whole level, like times 2 without stopping. It's a lot of fun. No way to apply it in the run, unfortunately. The other game-breaking thing that could have made this run a lot more entertaining than it is something called phantom surfing, or dropship surfing, whatever. A lot of you are probably like sort of familiar with this game. There's armor abilities like jetpack and sprint and stuff that are like, can't see it now, but there's like an icon right above the radar that indicates it. And there's a couple of them that kind of lock your location so that like you can't be affected by knockback from an explosion or something pushing you somewhere else. So if you get out of bounds somehow, stand on top of a pelican, some spaceship, and then use an armor lock or a drop shield or something to keep you in place, then it can carry you through a barrier the same way I just manually pushed through a barrier at the beginning with that spirit. And that means that you're moving as fast as a dropship, which kind of doesn't look that fast from afar, but it would cover a lot of ground, you know, even if it were not exactly towards the ending. But closest one is on Nightfall, right after you clip with the forklift, but it just takes too much time to start flying, which is unfortunate. Okay, cool. I didn't want to talk about that because I'm really terrible at it. There's supposed to be a fight here where you kill every enemy and then that door will open. Simple, right? But if you kill an enemy that's classified in the code as like a leader, an enemy that like slightly manipulates the AI of other enemies and has to be killed for the trigger, even like you can leave 2 alive or something like that, but one of those 2 can't be the leader. And if you kill the leader, which spawns before the rest of the enemies, then the game is confused into thinking everyone's dead. And it just opens the door that way. This game usually doesn't have weapon carryovers through cutscenes, but or especially between levels. Nowhere between levels, but I take those 2 weapons and you won't see them for like 10 minutes, but I'll use them next time I'm in FPS mode. This is where we've got a nice like 2-minute unskippable cutscene, which as far as I know is because when they were showcasing it at E3, they just thought this was the coolest level in the game. This will make people want to buy this game, the awesome Star Fox level, but they didn't want to skip the cutscene. They like changed the code so that you can't skip it no matter what, like no matter what buttons I press, and then they released the game like that without changing it back. And they could have software patched it at like any point, but they never did. So it just gives us a nice comfy snack break, or in this case, a hole in the game that I have to fill with small talk.
Do you mind if I read off a couple donations?
Yeah, go ahead.
Great. Okay. So we have a few donations here. One's from Matthew Baki. It says Halo for the win. And then we have another. Yeah, and that was a $30 donation, and then a $30 donation from, not sure I hope I pronounced this right, Hail Cake. Good morning, streamer, is what they say. And then a $5 donation from Halo Dude 862. Says, hey, Backflip, I'm so proud of you for finally achieving your goal of doing 9 backflips in a row. Oh, yeah, also GL on the rest of your run, dude. You're a beam pro.
Thanks, Cody. Who knew him? Like, oh, cool. You're Shasta, right? Okay, yeah.
Oh, but we just got another one in. Might as well just read that off right now from Master Keaton for $30. He says, always been a fan of Halo speedruns, but have never watched a Reach one on a marathon before. P.S. You're doing great. Keep it up.
Thank you. Yeah, I could. I don't want to dump on people, but the last time this was run was at AGDQ 2012, and it was done on Legendary, and it was like 3 hours, which might have been the record at the time, but I don't know, wasn't very well done, and didn't earn this game a great reputation, and it hasn't been run since then. But it's fine, because this game is run Halo is run at a bunch of marathons, so no problem with that. So this space fight just has like 3 waves, and they can spread out, and the controls are really terrible and stuff. But if you know where they spawn, then it can go pretty quick. So that was Banshees, these are going to be Seraphs. This one's really fun to do in 4-player, because like everyone can just shoot one Seraph. And like it rarely happens because we're all terrible, but sometimes we'll all kill one immediately, and then it just ends in the time it takes to kill one, which none of us are used to. I talk about 4P a lot because it's just like absolutely better than single player, more fun to do, like. And since there's a lot of like holdout fights in this game compared to the other Halo games, there's like a lot of time save over single player. You have to use Xbox Live for it though, and 10-year-old hardware, so the lag is pretty terrible. So it would be fun to run that at a marathon like this sometime, but all the people I run it with are very far away. This is the 3rd wave. It's going to be kind of a combo between the 1st and 2nd. Oh no, what am I doing? This might be really slow. Sometimes you don't have control. We've never dug into the code enough to find the number of things that you have to kill, but it varies a lot by how much the AAI, the allied people, kill. Oops. Oops, should be more down here. Okay, so now there's going to be some wraiths that spawn, we just kill them, and then this part's over. And then another fun cutscene, another fun space fight. So nothing but fun from here on out. Usually takes 2 volleys to kill these things, but it's a clumsy vehicle. It's hard to control.
Do I have a moment to read off a couple more donations?
Definitely.
Cool. Yeah, we have a $1 donation from Dilf Cat that says, "Can't wait to win a Nintendo Switch." Almost there. Just a friendly reminder. Yeah, so if you donate up to $30 worth, not necessarily in one donation, you are eligible to win a Nintendo Switch along with a copy of Breath of the Wild. Yeah, and then we have another donation from 6 Feet Underground for $10 that says, "Happy birthday, Backflip9. Roo roo roo, doo da doo." Happy birthday. Hope you have a great birthday today. Hype.
Wait, who said that?
6 Feet Underground.
Thanks, friend. I know who you are. Hope you're doing good. My birthday's in like 6 months or something. I don't know. Ah, thanks.
Yeah, happy birthday, Backflip.
There you go. Alright. Almost over. If I wanted to make it a really authentic run, I'd go to the bathroom or something, but that would be unshowmanlike. So this next part is also pretty subject to RNG AI. It's just a bunch of Banshees and Seraphs, and it ends when they're all dead. Not super complicated. The Seraphs will only spawn when you kill these engines, so we like to kill them first. And then the Banshees are all here already. They're like sitting under the, like on the belly of the ship. So there, and then they come out. So goal is to try to get as many of them as you can. Some people like to just kill one engine, then get as many Banshees as they can, and then they'll usually be able to pick them all off. But it's not too bad if you miss. Then you've got AI to pick those off, because they could never handle Seraph. Like, even on easy, they don't really help you much, which is fine. It's when they do help you that's a problem, because then someone gets a run where they help you, and then their run's good, and then it's unbeatable, because random chance spread it into #1 slot. Okay, this next part is pretty self-explanatory, so if I have anything to say, I'll just preface it with basically. Alright, this next part starts out in low gravity, so basically you want to dump down before these elites do a scripted jump to check above decks. And that can get out of hand a lot of times, so it's good that I got that first hit. That's all I use the shotgun for, pretty much. You can do it with a sword or a melee or anything, but it's just kind of tough, especially on like a controller when you can't spin around really quick. So basically the first thing you want to kill in this area is I forget what they're called, engineers. They can spawn shields around some of these enemies, and that's no fun. And he's right in our line of sight at the beginning, so it makes plenty of sense to kill him. Since there's a lot of fighting here, some people's strats differ from others from just what they're good at. Like, the people who play a ton of multiplayer or are good at aiming, unlike me, can bring a DMR instead of a sword, I believe. And then they'll just use that to pick off grunts by hitting them twice. I don't want to do that because they're wearing helmets, so you will shoot them in the head, the helmet will just come off and nothing will happen. And aiming is hard, so peppering them, on average, is better for me. So this game usually despawns stuff, especially when you totally deload the area. But for some reason, we can juggle this DMR, sit right here, remember that, and then it'll be right there when we come back. So basically, if you manipulate I can't do it. There's some elite AI over there that could, if you bring them closer to that door, I think you'll deload them when you come into this next room, and then when you come back, they'll reappear there, right? And that'll open the door for you. And since these animations for the doors are not so slow, I don't know why I shot there. The idea is to stay stealthy, and I want to stick one of the elites, and it looks cool. But yeah, that door can be held open by one of the elites when they reappear. But I don't really practice it, and they need to be in position. There's not always something you can do about it. Oh no. Okay. If I knew what I was doing, I could finish that fight before the dialogue ends, which is the absolute fastest you could possibly do it. Because the game doesn't just let dialogue overlap, except in a couple places. So if I magically found some strat to kill everyone in a split second when I enter the room, it wouldn't necessarily bring out a new ILPV. It would just make for, assuming it's consistent, a more consistent full game strat. Because you'd still have to wait out all the dialogue, and then they'd be like, oh, okay, you did it. Hit that button. And then you're already standing there by the button. And then so here's our DMR that we left here waiting for us. Works better for these guys. Okay, there's this dialogue. Here's a pretty long wave fight. Just enemies will come out of certain doors here.
I can read off a couple more donations if you'd like.
Yeah, sure.
We have another donation from Hail Cake that says, Pedro says hi, and happy birthday, Backflip.
Thanks.
Mosef donated $30, saying, I love seeing Halo games run at marathons. Thanks for a good show.
You're welcome.
And I can just do a quick reminder that we have a lot of cool incentives for runs coming up. Like for the Zelda 1 randomizer, we have a donation for picking the sprite that you want. A lot of cool selections, like Old Woman, Zelda, Link, Old Man, and Merchant. And along with that, we also have a lot of other cool naming incentives, like coming up soon is Survival Kids for the Game Boy. You can pick a file name. Looks like the file name Lonk is leading by $30, but you can go ahead and write in your own if you feel like it. And then along with that, we also have Final Fantasy VI has quite the long list of characters that you can select from. Just about every character you can write in to pick a name. And it looks like here a lot of these Final Fantasy VI characters don't even have any sort of vote. So yeah, like Locke, Sabin, Setzer, Strago, there's nothing. So if you want to go ahead and pick a name for them, go ahead.
This area is just a bunch of grunts that are suicide bombing you. It just makes for really slow gameplay. I don't see why the developers did this. Like either it's on it's on easy and you can just run through them like this, or it's on a harder difficulty and you've got to do it really slowly and cautiously. But on easy, it's pretty much fine. Some people like Halo Dude 860 struggle with it sometimes. Just by getting really unlucky. Like it can happen if you're just running through and you do exactly the same thing as everyone else, but more of them know you're there and more of them pull grenades. I'm not careful anymore because I'm weirdly lucky with it all the time. But but the problem is it's a huge run killer because that checkpoint I just got here was likely the first one of the whole level. I don't know why. So it's like if you're at low health in that suicide grunt area, that's like, oh no, my run might be dead if I mess up. So some people take it slow when that happens. Because if you've made it past LNOS and you're still green, then like you're scared. You're like, oh no, these super inconsistent, scary levels are gonna ruin my run. I better be careful. So this level's not so bad in comparison. Okay. So now, assuming I hit a button, which I don't remember if I did, but we're gonna run over here, and there's gonna be 2 phantoms. Normally you just kill the ones down here and then run up to where I was before and pick them off, but I hit a button that we're gonna have to hit once the enemy trigger is hit. And oh no, I'm so late. You'll figure it out. Okay, maybe we can do this. Yeah, okay, that's awesome. That's like, I'm terrible at this trick and I got it. We get teleported here because I hit that button earlier because it spawns before the elevator for some reason. So when we kill enough enemies to like deem the area safe or whatever, the game starts checking if it's pressed, and then it's like, oh, it is pressed. The player must be in the elevator. Oh, what? He's like 300 feet away? Oh, he must have like run there in the time since he pressed the button. We'll just put him back in there. So that works out well for us, and we don't have to spend time running back. I'm really happy I got that though, because I didn't play like Halo multiplayer much, or if I did I was bad and I'm terrible at console sniping, so worked out well. It's also annoying, like there's just so many random factors that can screw you. There will be like grenades on the ground or bodies on the ground, and when I try to throw grenades at those enemies after I fire the initial shots, like a grenade will just get trapped on a dead body, and that's it. And then there's like 50, not 50, more like 3 enemies running away from you, and you gotta pick them off, and then you're over encumbered. That Marine's invincible, but I forgot to shoot him for the meme. Yeah. The game wants you to take a slightly more circuitous path to get up here, but we're just gonna do this. And you can see I was down there earlier, and you might think, oh, why don't you just jetpack straight up here? But they did think of that. They do keep you from going straight from the cargo bay to here. Just too bad, but that would be skipping quite a bit of content. Uh-oh. This area is kind of chaotic. You just gotta see who decides to run where, and wing it based on what happens there. Oh, you're up here. And you're down there. That was okay. Oh, that's weird. I got the dialogue really early. Usually you've got to kill these guys. Yeah, that's fine. I played really badly, but that's the kind of like spawn time you get for the Falcons if you do. Whoa, you okay? Okay, that's also scary because we need to ride this one so that we can save 2 seconds. Excuse me. That seat sometimes gets out like a second later, and we can't have that. So. So this Falcon ride is a complete auto scroller. And yeah, by this point you can tell this game has a lot of downtime. I guess especially for a Halo game, Halo 2 has quite a bit. But other than that, none of the others really compare. I choose to take the optimistic view. It's an opportunity to eat more food during my run and stuff. So at this point, you know, you're content with just sitting there feeling the rush if you're still green. What else can I? I'm wearing weightlifting gloves because I want to look cool. I don't need them. You can get in this area without being in the Falcon. Similar method to Tip of the Spear. You just gotta. Well, not really similar. You gotta. If you just load up Rally Point Alpha or whatever it is, you can just walk out kind of this certain path. In addition to elastic barriers, the game tries to keep you in bounds by like having a 10-second counter. Where if it counts down when you're in, you know, these specified areas, and then if it hits 0, then you just die. And so there's like this path you can take where like run through this return to battlefield zone for 8 seconds, let it recharge back up to 10, and run to this safe spot, and then you're out. So that part's pretty cool, but not applicable. We haven't actually, as far as I know, found a way to get to the end of the level without getting in the Falcon, just because there's this magic load zone that we don't really know how to hit abnormally. So. Alright, cool. Now there's just 3 buttons we gotta hit, and then this level is done, and we're on to the level that makes people hate this game as a speedrun. It's just completely laced with RNG. Might as well start talking about it now. You're just in a Falcon, and you gotta help some people around the city, and there's 12 different missions you can get in between the 3 that always occur. But you'll always only get 2 of those 12. And you'll never get the same 2 out of a certain group of 3 that is specified in the code. And those have very varying lengths for how long they take to like appear and complete. So you can get anywhere from like the best like co-op time is like 6:07, I believe. By me and that guy who didn't have enough money to donate, so he paid someone else to mention him or something. Me and Pedrogas, and then it can. like with perfect input or something, you can still get like a 930 or something, which sucks. It can totally destroy a really good run, or it can make a bad run a world record or something like that. Not anymore. This game's not that unoptimized. So we're gonna try and scare these Marines off. As long as okay, as long as just one of them's in, we can try this. There's some Banshees flying around, and we can do a cool like teleport glitch. But maybe none of them spawned. Oh, that's no fun. Yeah, as far as I can tell, they can be there or down there. Oh well. What we could do is hijack them from the air just by like getting out in midair like that, and then just jumping straight onto them. And then we could melee the wings off, and then we could fly them through here, because they fit somehow. And then, so we'd save time flying down to the button, right? That I'm walking to right now. But then the real time save comes in when you hit the button, and then you wait a little bit of time, and then you get back into your Banshee. The game starts assuming that you're outside the room for some reason, because you're in a Banshee, and then it proceeds to deload the room, and you're inside the room. And so just like at the beginning of the game, when we moved that Falcon, by deloading the area around it, you get teleported to back outside of all places, which is where you can like call a replacement Falcon to land. So that's been around for a long time, since like the high-speed Halo days too. Unfortunately, like, there's no way I could like make that work without doing something stupid like SNQing and loading the level back up, because as far as I recall, on single player, the Banshee spawns don't change on each revert, which is good for ILs, right? Because then you can just reload it until you get a good set. But full game runs, it just adds a little bit to the RNG. So now we're gonna listen for the Japanese voice that'll indicate what mission comes next. We're gonna hope it's not one where you escort a character from a different Halo game across the map in a really slow Falcon, because that one kills the run just no matter what. It's what can make your run like 9 minutes long or something. The only resource at our disposal is... Oh no, it's that cool mission I talked about, okay. This checkpoint's pretty far back, so it'll probably give us something different. But now you know what that really disappointing sounds like, so you'll know it when it comes. But hopefully there's like a Phantom or something that we can see delivering troops for a different mission. Oh yes, okay, it's this one here. Hooray, this is gonna be kind of fast. The rest of the missions are generally just killing enemies and stuff. There's one where you have to like shut down a jammer, just like the one that I walked through the hospital to shut down. But mostly straightforward. I guess the idea was to give it more replay value, because there's like, on Legendary there's like 600 different ways the level can play out, which makes for 600 fun ILs before you get world record. And then on easy it's slightly less varied, so like, I don't know, 300 maybe. So now there's only two that can occur by deduction. It's going to be this green building or this red one. Alright. Gonna head toward this one. I like to stay closer to this one. The dialogue is shorter, so I don't have as much time to get down there in optimal time. Whereas the one of the other mission is like, oh, we got some Covenant, ow, my ear, they shot me, and then the character that's on the radio with you is like, oh, I think they're dead, you should go help them, and then it waits a little bit longer before opening some elevators, so we can be plenty far away from that one without losing any time. I think you can bring a forget. I think you can bring a Banshee in this one. Or, no, I think the door is too short. It's not tall enough. You can't fit one inside, unfortunately. But that would be IL only. Because at this point, like, after just the first mission and then the first random one that we just did, there's no way of knowing where the Banshees would be. You'd have to... That would add a lot more RNG to, like, an optimal IL. Alright, so now we have another chance to get that cool mission. Which is just as likely, or even more likely now, because one of the 4 groups of missions that can occur is eliminated, right? So we can... And one of the groups is completely comprised of super fun escort missions, so we want just one of the other 2. And we got it again, awesome. Okay, this is a fine checkpoint. Okay, good. That's a perfectly good time. Oscar 1A. Oh yeah, it's this one. Okay. I like to believe I'm like really weeb or something and memorize the Japanese, but the giveaways of like which mission they're calling out is just by like super Americanized, like just saying like NATO alphabet letters with really heavy accents, and that's how you know. Like, I think normally it's like this guy with a southern accent, he's like, Oscar, L1A, report, but in this one he's like, Oscar, Waneda, and that's the only difference. So I didn't have to put as much time into playing this level in Japanese until I knew all the dialogue, as you might think. So for this one, now that we've killed all the enemies, there's like a pelican that's coming to pick it up. So we gotta kill him so that the pelican doesn't have anything to pick up. He's still alive. Okay. And they assumed that no one would be terrible enough to let them all die. So there's like no, oops, you killed them dialogue for this one. They just say thanks anyway, even though they're dead. Alright, so now we know it's this one, so we'll have plenty of time to get in position, and then it's going to be the scripted final mission. So this is like a pretty garbage New Alexandria, because I had to revert from getting an escort mission twice, but that's fine. Watching them is really terrible. Like, watching me be disappointed by getting the wrong RNG is much more fun, so at least we had that. This is another multiplayer map, remake of something from Halo 2. But everyone, like, I'm super young, I didn't play Halo 2 much, but people always tell me that this one is somehow way worse, even though it's like a replica. Oh, I'm amazing, okay. So now we just gotta aim at that spot where there's gonna be a Phantom that spawns. And it's gonna be carrying 2 shade turrets. We kill the Phantom, but shade turrets die. And it's hard to aim because like there's no contrast between the color of the sky behind it and the actual Phantom, so it's hard to hit those first few shots. Okay. This should be enough. I should kill it before it drops the ship, but... Okay, cool. That's the best I've done that in a while. Now we can move on to the remaining ones and complete it slightly faster than you want. Oh, I don't know how to... I'm not used to doing it this fast. Guess I'll move on to this one, and turn around. And there's not really auto aim with this gun, I think, even if your reticle is red. So it can take you can miss a lot just because you don't have much control over the bullets. You can actually soft lock this area because if you're playing in co-op, you can, if like 2 falcons spawn at the beginning instead of 1, so that the other guy has something to fly, and that one comes with this like super overpowered turret that you saw me using on tip of the sphere in the falcon ride. It just shoots grenade launcher shots, and you can just put one player in the driver's seat of that and then the other one in the turret and just go around and killing every single phantom before it drops its turrets. But if you do that, then you'll either like completely soft lock, or the game will wait like 2 minutes and then randomly end. So that makes the run slightly shorter. And none of like every time we've gotten that good of a run in co-op, we like get really scared and then waste way too much time avoiding that. So it's kind of unfortunate. Did I just swap out? I might have swapped out my DMR, which we're gonna need. The plasma pistol is good, I guess, because I can kill these with it if the grenades randomly fail, but not very useful otherwise. Alright, so now the level is on like a timer. I don't know how long it is. We just have to kill... Oh wait. No, I didn't. Okay, good. I'm so smart. We have to just kill a couple shade turrets and a revenant that's kind of prone to splattering. Oh yeah, that's that's the other thing. The plasma pistol can be used for the safe strat, where you EMP the revenant and then come and hijack it. It's mostly for like when you have a really good run going, so I haven't used it in a while. Hello? Okay. Hopefully this guy will look at me. There we go. That is just... Okay, good. I only got that by a couple of seconds, apparently. So that dialogue signifies when the game starts checking if those 3 enemies are dead. And then there's the timer, which just ended. Oh no, I don't have any frags. Oh good, I found one. Oh no, I suck at that. Alright, backup is really frustrating. Okay, I can just run around.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I don't know. I'll just like introduce this fight. It's a 3-wave fight where there's just a whole lot going on and not enough ammo to kill all the things we want to. So you're gonna see me flying Banshee around to kill people mostly. Okay.
Mind if I do a quick plug for the charity?
Sure.
Cool. Yeah. So just want to do a quick reminder about the reason we're all donating today. It's for going to Direct Relief, which is a charity that helps people who need help because of poverty, disasters, or any sort of emergency situation. They operate both in America and in over 70 countries. So basically, when something goes wrong, they're always there to help out. And every dollar you donate goes to that as well as charity money. So feel free to hit that donate button if you want. And feel free to check out our incentives page if you're interested in one of those.
Okay, sometimes those banshees just ignore you and don't fly near you, but it's fine. We have time to activate these little turrets before the first wave of enemies drops. Oh, I'm so terrible at this. I was doing so well in practice, though. Okay. Shoot these guys, keep them in place. Okay, good. That would have sucked, but then the grunt killed himself, so we're fine. I've got a little bit of time to just hit some of these guys, and then I've got to... Oh, so tempting. Okay, I just got to head down to this area now, where the Wraith is about to drop. And there's a strat where you can use it later to kill the last Phantom, but I don't know. I prefer this strat. It's probably... I don't think it's faster on average, but I'm more consistent with it, and I don't want to... I've spent plenty of time like messing with strats that I'm not good at in this run, so... Some of them went well, like the sniping around the elevator, but other than that, just killed time, but it's fine. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be way underestimated, so we're fine. Oh no, they did that thing they do sometimes. On easy, they armor lock very rarely. It's supposed to be a common feature in other difficulties, but it can happen. And it's like rare enough that you don't feel like justified if it happens and you just feel cheated. So it's annoying in runs. Alright, that's it. I'm gonna swap out some weapons. Where am I? Oh, okay, yeah. Hopefully that laser will stay there. So there's gonna be a Phantom that spawns here, and another one down there. If I shoot out one of the grunts and ghosts that this one here is going to be carrying, some of the enemies inside it will despawn, others will spawn over yonder for some reason. We don't really know why. We'll be able to kind of kill everything in one place that way, so I'm just going to do that at my earliest opportunity, then hop back in my Banshee. Okay, yeah. You just saw like the second 3 of them spawn, kind of in the same spot. I think blue can take them out just with one rocket. Oh no. Okay. Okay, I can afford to do that. Usually, like, I shoot Banshee bombs at myself enough that I'm almost dead by the end of this, but I've been better this time. And these enemies are the last of the second wave, and then we're on to the third wave, which is a whole lot shorter. We're gonna do it just by killing everyone we need to all at once. I'm gonna hope this laser is still here. Good. And then we're gonna hop in this. And then go to this kind of unnecessary vantage point just so we can start shooting at the Phantom earlier. So there's been more their experimentation with how to kill this Phantom. People recently thought of like flying out to the elastic barrier that it's kind of passing through right about now with the Banshee, and just hitting it with bombs and flying at it as it moves. And those are good, but like at the end of the day, it still will die very early on if I just kill it right here with rockets. Oh no, I didn't reload a long time ago. Okay, should be fine. Okay. And then that killed these grunts that dropped that were below it, and then a set of 3 elites, and then golden sword elite that is a necessary kill. Yeah, just enough time to walk to this button before it's activated. And that's package. One of my favorite levels, because like it starts out with this super movement intensive beginning, and then there's the cutscene, and it turns into more strategic thing where you gotta manage your time well. Because it's easier to get caught on like fighting one group of enemies, and then before you know it, another one has dropped and spread out, and you'll spend more time killing them. So you gotta have a lot of experience, I suppose, to manage that effectively. Alright, this level is Pillar of Autumn, and the world record holder is BKPA guy, or as we like to call him, BKPOA guy. He's very dedicated to running this level. He's a really cool guy. I hope you're watching right now. Although he might not be the type to pull an all-nighter to watch this, I don't know. So it starts out with a pretty long driving section, which I enjoy. It's there's a lot of different routes you can take through this next part, and there's some physics RNG at play, but you also have some control, so it's at least interesting, if not fun. So this is a full game route that I came up with that not many other people take, as far as I know. I just the normal one that is used for ILs as well, that a lot of people use in full game, involves just driving straight off a cliff and then hoping that you land on your wheels, or that you like flip an even number of times and that you land on your wheels that way. And it's just really inconsistent, and I hate it, and it's only a little bit slower to do what I did. So I'd say on average, the one I did is faster. So we're gonna just slide right between these barriers that also can't be moved. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, you can also like flip if you get hit by these guys, and then you'll like... Oh no, I went too fast, never mind. Like they'll hit you, and then the other group will hit you and flip you back over. Kinda looks cool. There's an absolutely necessary easy strat called beggar skip right here. I haven't been very well practiced in it lately, but it's a precise jump up this rock. And then when you go over here, the buggers that spawn in the next area, I think they call them drones in other Halo games, they won't be here. It's 100% critical, mission critical to beating the game on easy. No. It's not critical, and I just did that to piss off my friends, because when we're doing co-op friends, I always do that strat, even though you totally don't need to. I hope you get an angry donation about that. Hope I helped. I'm actually glad I got that really early, because my friends kind of bullied me into submission to stop doing that, so I hadn't practiced it in a while. Oh no, I should not have done that. I know. Okay, this area has a lot of entities, and the game can't really handle them all. So when it finds something convenient to deload, like the rockets I need for the end of the level, it takes the opportunity. I swapped them out for the wrong thing, so now we don't have those. So now we gotta come up with a really fun alternative. These fuel rods will... Probably shouldn't have wasted that. Fuel rods will help a bit for killing a bunch of the brutes that spawn. But other than that, we're pretty much limited to plasma grenades and good old shooting. So hopefully I can pick some of those up. I might kill a few extra people around here for some of those. Oh. Okay, and the reason that fight has to go like as I want it to is so that I can get something called key skip, which is similar to the skip at the beginning of Long Night of Solace on the beach when I made the door open by killing like the leader enemy that's referenced in the code as like the one that you have to kill no matter what the leniency is. The same thing happens, the leader guy spawns before everyone else, so that if you... Oh no, I don't have any plasmas. Oh, I know, we'll get some. Okay, that's fine. If you kill that leader first, then the game will be like, oh, the leader's dead and no one else is here, so you've probably killed everyone, and then it saves you the trouble of going through that fight. It's pretty easy when you have the right guns, but we'll have to see what we can do here. Okay, there's a plasma. I don't really care about the frags I have because they don't do as much damage, especially with these brutes that we're killing. Okay, that worked so well, wow. Alright, I want to get closer. Usually if you have a rocket, you can just kind of pick a few of these guys off with that. Oh, I am so not getting key skip. That's fine. Or maybe I am, because this is a weird level and I don't understand it. Oh, what did I do? There might be some enemies that should have died. Yeah, here they are. Okay. That's fine. We'll kill them and then maybe have time to kill the leader enemy. Nope. Okay, that's fine. I haven't done it with a hammer in a really long time. We just gotta kill all these guys and then a few that drop from this dropship over here. Okay, and that's the waypoint that would have appeared when we killed the first chieftain. Yeah, this is fine. We should be... Yeah, we should be, like, around estimate. Was that weird? So the last thing to do is to get up there, and then the level will be set on a timer, and that'll be it. That'll be time in like 2 minutes or so. So now there's no enemy triggers around here that need to be satisfied. You're pretty much just free to kill people at your leisure until the waypoint appears on that big ship that we're gonna destroy. I should be careful not to get into this gun, because like, if a Banshee hits it or something, that somehow affects your health and kills you, and you get sent back like a minute or so, and I always seem to do it during important races, so. Shouldn't be too long now. Okay, there's a lot of Banshees around it, that's right. Alright, ready on time. And time. I might. I'll check later. The game's timed not by RTA, but by like the meter clip times. So I'll have to see what my real time was. But I spent a lot of time on like IL strats that I'm bad at, so I knew it would be like, you know, pretty far off my TV.
Yeah, 127.04 by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great, thank you very much, Backflip9, for that amazing run of Halo Reach. Up next, we do have Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition by Vooligan and Trojan Dude 12. In the meantime, we're going to have a quick setup block where we will play a quick ad here. So yeah, even if you can't donate, these ads help us out a lot as well, so feel free to stick around.